Are you applying for a partner visa in Australia? Let me guess, you've got about 100 tabs open, 47 documents to upload, and a headache from all the evidence you need to show your relationship is genuine. Don't worry, we've helped hundreds of couples through this process, and today I'm sharing 6 practical tips and tricks that will make your partner visa application stronger, smoother, and less stressful. I'm Hayder Shakara from Unique Education and Migration, and if you're planning to apply for your Australian partner visa, these 6 steps can save you months of waiting and a whole lot of pain. Let's jump into it. Tip number 1, tell your story like a movie, not a list. When you write your relationship statement, don't just list dates and events. Tell your story like a timeline with emotion and detail. How you met, what drew you to one another, what challenges did you face, and what plans do you have for the future? The department wants to feel your relationship is real. They don't want to just read a script of different logistics. I did this on this day, I saw him on that day. A good relationship statement feels personal, consistent, and human. There needs to be some sort of consistency because if both partners describe completely different versions of the story, that is going to be a huge red flag for the department. Tip number 2, cover the 4 pillars and make sure they're balanced. When you upload evidence, remember, there are 4 pillars that the department assesses. The first is financial aspects of the relationship. Joint accounts, rent, bills, assets that you have together, evidence that you've been living together, maybe you're on the same lease documents. Any kind of bills or utility bills that have both names on it are going to assist the department in making a decision here. The second pillar is the social side of things. You should have pictures with your friends, your family, at different events, maybe photos of your social media that can support that you're in a genuine relationship with one another. The third pillar is commitment to long-term plans. So have you got plans for future goals, any travel plans that you might have together, any kind of messages or statements that you can show that this is not just a one-off short-time thing, this is a kind of long-term plan and a strong commitment that you have to each other and to your relationship. And the fourth pillar is describing what happens in your household. What are your chores? What are your joint responsibilities that you do? Who is responsible for what? Now, the mistakes we commonly see is when most applicants overload one pillar, usually with photos, and they tend to forget about the others. A balanced set of evidence across all 4 categories is much stronger than hundreds of selfies just showing that you're madly in love. So tip number 3, start collecting evidence early. If you think you're going to apply soon, start collecting evidence now. Every text, every flight, every shared bill, it all counts and it all adds up. It's much easier to build evidence over time than to backtrack later and try to find things you deleted. We often see people rush to compile everything right before applying, and it starts to look inconsistent. So start a shared folder like a Google Drive or a Dropbox or whatever it is, and keep adding proof as you go along. Both of you can then start adding documents that is going to support your application. Tip number 4, register your relationship if you can. This is a big one. If you're in a de facto relationship but haven't lived together for 12 months, you might be able to register your relationship with your state or territory. That can waive the 12-month cohabitation requirement. It's available in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Tasmania, and the ACT. It's not a magic bullet by any means, but for many couples, especially those living apart temporarily, it can make a difference because it shows that you're serious about your relationship. You've taken that extra step to register it. Tip number 5, get your timeline straight. One of the biggest mistakes, inconsistent timelines between the applicant and the sponsor. If you say you met in 2018, but your partner writes 2019, the case officer that's reading it is going to just think something's going off or something's wrong. The same thing goes for travel, holidays, or special occasions. Before you submit it, compare your statements and make sure your stories line up. It's not required, I guess, for it to be exactly identical, but it needs to make sense and it can't have big discrepancies in different years. All right, so we've gotten to tip number 6, the final video. If you've gotten this far, I'd really appreciate if you like and subscribe to the channel. Tip number 6, be honest and explain gaps. The department has seen everything. So if you've had a previous visa refusal, if you've had a breakup in the relationship, or even there was a short separation, it is so much better to explain it rather than to hide it. Trying to cover up details usually does more damage than being upfront, and we've had clients whose applications were delayed for over a year just because they didn't explain a short breakup. If you disclose the truth and you back it up with evidence, it's always better than being silent and trying to cover it up. If there's one thing the department hates, it's a cover-up. So, applying for a partner visa, it isn't just about love, it's about strategy, detail, and preparation. And these 6 tips can save you months of frustration. So if you want help reviewing your evidence or understanding your eligibility, or just need help with the application itself, reach out to us at Unique Education and Migration. We've helped hundreds of couples get their visas approved, and we can help you too. Subscribe for more migration tips and drop your visa questions in the comments below. Thanks for listening.